For years I've seen this view in magazines and travel books, so much so that it became a must-see on my visit to India. Located 11 kilometres from Jaipur, this is the principal tourist venue in the area, and many tourists take the opportunity to ride elephants up the slope to the fort. However, this use of elephants is now a controversial practice. So our group avoided the temptation of elephants and rode to the top by jeep. And even along this narrow, bumpy lane, there were traders hoping for our business. From the car park at the top of the lane, we could look out over the landscape and see great defensive walls stretching across the hillsides, and there were other defensive forts on the higher summits. And yes, we have arrived at the right place, and we were soon to discover that the fort was actually a defended palace. The fort is built on 4 layers, each with its own courtyard. This is the first and main courtyard. It was used for victory and other parades, and for soldier assembly so the Maharaja could do his inspection. We look down on Lake Mayalta with its man-made island garden. We've reached the second courtyard, and this is the public audience hall with its 27 columns, each with an elephant-shaped top. Across the courtyard is the impressive Ganesh Gate, which gives entry to the private royal areas. The lattice-covered windows allowed the woman to look down onto activities in the courtyard and yet remain hidden. The fort opened in 1592, and the frescoes we see on this building were added in the early 17th century.
On him because he is the person who brought the World Cup to India after 28 years. His personal life was in a like a Bollywood style. He gets in love with the girl and they propose.
This is the third courtyard, and the Maharaja's private quarters surrounded it.
She wants one of us.
This formal garden was built in the Persian style, which was popular at the time.
Just put it on the just put it carefully on the top. Thank you. You all will get it. No.
This ancient doorway must have looked very impressive in its original state. The highlight of the third courtyard is undoubtedly the Mirror Palace. Here we have an area of mirror mosaics and coloured glass pictures. The overall impression is like some glittering jewel box. We can just imagine what it must have looked like in the evenings, illuminated by candlelight. And now we've got high enough in the building to look out on the courtyard through the latticed woman's windows. The fort also had several tanks to collect rainwater from the roof, but the fort's main water supply was from the lake below. The fourth courtyard was for the woman. Around this courtyard lived the Maharaja's wives and concubines, and he had a private entrance to each. Now it's time for us to join the crowds heading towards the exit, but first, one last view from the walls of the fort. And as we drive away from the Amer Fort, I've ticked another must-see off my list. And the visit has certainly met all my expectations.